Beethoven has something interesting, unusual about Beethoven is that he has a very important quality in his music, and that is the surprises. Now, we can take different kind of surprises. Surprise can be, oh, that's a surprise. But it also can be something just that is unusual, that something that happens that people don't expect. So something that you don't express. Like, maybe I'll do a surprise. Happy Valentine's Day. There we go. That's a surprise. You see? It doesn't have to be all so grave and unhappy and shocking that it's in a negative sense. It can be surprise, that's very good. Now, I remember last time I taught this piece also, but this, I will have to repeat it. This piece is fantastic. There is one element that carry out through all four movements. And this element, this motivic element, it's so short, it takes up only 2 notes. And this is the first 2 notes. That's it. Just that. If you think about second movement, the 2 notes. The fourth movement, 2 notes, So it's reverse, yes, but it's 2 notes. And it's a half step, the smallest little interval. Now, Beethoven wasn't the only composer using that. I mean, Chopin preludes, all 24 preludes have one thing in common, and it's da-da, ba-da. It's 2 notes, and there's the neighboring notes. That's all. You know, there it is not always a half step. It can be whole step. But here it's half step. Who would, in their right mind, would start a piece with 2 notes? Okay? And that's what made Beethoven stand apart from other composers. What did other composers write? Mozart, very pretty, you know. All very comfortable and when you play, they all fit in your fingers. There's nothing terrible about it. But this is terribly hard. It's a very hard piece, technically, because they're so uncomfortable. Nothing really fits in the hand. So let's explore on this 2 notes. So where are we? Do we have? There we have. And then later on, you see, it's just incessantly 2 notes. And that's why he wrote those in small notes. It's like, hey, have you noticed? Okay, it's so soon. I don't play them perfectly. It's not by much. I don't handle them as a grace note. This is grace note. That's grace note. But it's very different then I don't hear that excitement. No. then even this. The musicology loves to tell you, see, there are two. And otherwise we call that a neighboring note. But here, in this case, a neighboring note has become, is put into service of the thematic motivic element. So, as I said at the beginning, the way you play, you're fine already. But with this knowing, this is only about an attitude difference. Now when you hear this, it won't leave you, I guarantee you. Now you will never hear the piece again the same way. That is enough. You don't have to do a lot, but you need to have that idea, oh, he's actually playing a game with us. See who gets it. And now when you play it, just think there is this little something there, that little itch. And every time that comes, there's a little twitch and a little itch in this. That, it's in this piece, in the first movement, that's the element, the surprise element. Okay, let's try again. And before you begin, you'd go there. There. This is how you should begin in the concert. You go. That's what he wrote. Okay, it's okay. The C sharp got to be a lot softer. So that almost as if we didn't hear it. So if you play da-di-da, that's too loud. But this it's a little bending of notes, bent. You bend the note. That's right. It's too much right hand. I need to hear more of the left. The right hand softer, because it's low. The starting, the first note is very low. I don't think this sfumato is a powerful sfumato. Now, in the first session, I talked about left hand. When we play left hand loud, it's loud. When we play the left hand soft, it has an expression. If I play that's powerful. It's a surprise. How loud am I playing left hand? Soft. Only that much. But the right hand? Left hand. It's a little too soft. Try again. Good. But if I play now, is that surprising? Not really. You have to go D, ba, this da, rather than da. This is what makes Beethoven different. Okay, there are a lot of stories about people coming to watch Beethoven play, not just to hear Beethoven play. He was an outsider coming into Vienna. He didn't dress properly, usually, and he didn't have all the jewelries that other people would carry, and he didn't wear a wig. And so all these things were unusual. People enjoy his playing because there was always something unexpected. People used to say they're going to see the show, attend the show of Beethoven, rather than coming to hear a concert, because there's a lot of things happening. And so we can imagine that it wasn't just playing the notes. He probably acted quite in a very different way. For some people, probably thinking, oh, he's only inappropriate. But for him, it was just part of music. Yeah, let's try again. Good. Now, prepare. No. Da-dee. That's your tempo. Da-dee. Da-dee. The first two notes. Da-dee. Not bad. Da-dee. Ba-ba. Da-da. Ba-da-dee-ba-ba. You see that if you just read the top line, da-da, da-da, be-da-ba-ba-bum, it's very, very intense. Yeah? It's not it's not comfortable. So da-da, da-da, ba-da-ba-ba-bum. You know, all this little edgy offbeat business. That surprises. You have to catch those. Yeah, let's try there. Da-dee-da-da-ba-da. I just want to get a tone. Not too loud. You give away. You know, you want to da-dee. I didn't hear the second voice. The G is missing. The G, in your thumb. There we go. You need that because that's a resolution. Harmonically, it's a very important note. Okay, go on. No. It's not grand. It's not grand. It's a big height, and not very comfortable. Okay, let's try. That's pretty good. Now look at the left hand. That's why there's a sforzato. I think that's for the left hand. Da-da. Okay? So you want to shock everybody. There comes da-da. Let's try. Good. Go on. Can you play the right hand alone? Just I want you to play the way he articulates it. So play the second major. So the D is loud. Yes. It's different from yours. You play that's not what he wrote. He wrote he puts the emphasis possibly on the second measure. And not on the first measure. you're playing da-dee, da-da-da-dum, bum, ba-da-da-da-ding, da-dee, da-da-da-da-dum. So that's the opposite of what he wants. Let's try. If you can put the emphasis on the second measure. So, why so? It's because he wanted us to hear. That is in the aspects of harmonics, harmony, that's a surprise. So as you play the F sharp soft. Just play. Are your hands large enough to reach the harmony? The second harmony. Let's just hear the. There we go. So you see, they are very different. They sound very different. And you want to put them together and give this very quick feeling of very swift. A swift feeling, fast. The second measure is ordinary, but first measure is not. It contains that little surprise. So let's try again. Play soft and fast. So after you play the first measure, separate. That's not bad. Try it. That's the idea. Okay, it's a little different than what you thought before. Now, bum, bum, bum. Go on. Bum, bum, bum. Yes, I hear your left hand nice and loud. What about your right hand? There's a little line going in. Try the right hand alone. Okay. Whenever we detect a line in any music, any piano music, that's Rachmaninoff especially, when you have a line, bring that out and listen to it. Anybody, if you can detect a line, that composer must be aware of it. The composer would never write a line without knowing it. It would always be intentional. So bring that out a little bit. Yes, now turn the page. This is hard. This takes a lot of practice. What is so hard about? You have to be there. So because that's the theme. The theme started with a dropping half step followed by a scale. Here we have a dropping half step followed by a scale. That's the theme. That's not even just motif anymore. It's actually a theme. But a diminution, meaning it's faster. It's twice as fast. So you have to have that Beethoven loves the speeding up, shortening. It's what we call the shortening technique. He makes it shorter and shorter, 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 and so then it's all squeezed into a very small space. And here it is, squeezed to the smallest possible. I think in this movement, that's the smallest. No, the little semi-grace note is probably even smaller. But you see, this is what happened. Now, you have to be, your mind has to be there. Play the note. You already play the note, fine. But if you can put your mind into it, give that little jolt of that little half step, that will be wonderful. Let's try. Do it once slow. Make a little accent on it. Yes. Start with the first one. It's in the right hand. The first one, start a little softer, because we have the sort of a crescendo to do. They're going to add up, and so when we see an opportunity for crescendo, sometimes we just save a little bit at the beginning so that we can do it more dramatically. Okay, step back, play a little softer. You're starting from the second one. The first one is yum body is in right hand. Yum body here. So so this is the first one. This is the second one. You start from the second one. Yes. That's not how you started, right? And now you're playing. It's very easy. That's Mozart. Okay, it's not Beethoven. Beethoven bites. The first note. You have to give it a little intensity. Yes. But you have to mentally prepare. It comes very uncomfortably because it's offbeat. So anything is offbeat is hard on the mind. The mind likes all the beats. Orderly, This is not orderly. This is always a little bit jolting. So let's try. Now let's focus before you play. Focus. Focus on it. It's hard. In tempo. Now you imagine that. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there's a clash. Fortissimo. Okay, 7 times until this huge clash and it goes down under, very low. And rises big to very high. And then dim bum dum bum bum, and this big jump. Bum bum bum. What else can he write that is surprising, that is extreme? He wrote a sequence that uses 7. Usually people write sequence for 2 and 3. That's already a lot. 4, well, that's an exception. He wrote 7. And so that's huge. And then he made a huge crash, fortissimo. I think that was pretty unheard. This is where famously Beethoven will break strings. Imagine, pop! That adds to the excitement, adds to the drama. And then this coming down and going up. And then just when he's arriving there, bum, 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 this big jump. So he used He took everything out of his toolbox to make it exciting. You see, this is how I want you to imagine that. And so you play with a different attitude. The first time he played it, it was all very orderly. Unfortunately, Beethoven's music was not about that. It's about surprises. Many composers back then wrote things very orderly. Okay, I mean, just so you know, many of them did, but not Beethoven. He was the black sheep, so to say. Let's try one more time. We go on. And remember to make some big splash out of fortissimo. Okay. Get yourself prepared. Yes, try this. Play once this grace note as a grace note. Just try once as a grace note. Here. You see, it's not going to be easy. This is a grace note. Now, play not as a grace note. Okay? This is grace note, not grace note. It's actually a bit challenging. And now, why would he do something like that? Very simple. Nobody else did it. Okay? It's all about who is first. You know, Schoenberg used to say that. You want to compose music that nobody else has written before. Well, so did Beethoven already. It's nothing new. Okay, let's see. Yes, now, there's a little fine print. Okay, it's not picky. No, this is a dangerous. What is this? This is actually orchestral. Piano playing. Orchestral playing. There's a difference. Okay, not just. Because of this unison. With unison, a composer can imitate all kind of sound, instrumental sound, meaning other instruments, non-piano sound. And this is what he's using. And so it's not right hand playing da-da-da-da-da and left hand accompanies. It's nothing to do with accompaniment. It has to do with when there's a unison, it creates a different voice, a different color, a different instrument altogether. Okay, let's try. See if you can. Play once the octave, boom, boom, this unison. Just the unison without the top note. Dom, play, boom.
I'm playing.
Oh. Just the octave. Dom, boom, boom. Not bad. Well, which note is new? It's the lower note. That's new. That's unusual. So make that a little more important. Not loud, not terribly loud, but just a little more important. That's too loud. That's too loud. No, not, you have to use your imagination. This unison, boom, boom, it can be it doesn't have to be the same length as the upper note, Boom, 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 boom. In the modern orchestration, we can use an English horn for that, because and the bass bassoon, they have very funny sound. Poo, 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 poo. And the top notes make it cute. Whoa, that's very cute. And so something like that, you can think of very funny combinations. But anything but a piano playing, dee dee da 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 da, that's boring. Sounds like churning, right? Let's try. Not bad. Okay, now let's play. Let's try. See if you can be quick enough to change. This touch and go. You have to leave everybody hanging. What happened? Let's try. Now the left hand is doing what it was doing before. Da-dee, da-dee, bottom. The right hand, though, is doing pion, pion, pion. Uh-oh, defector. It's doing the opposite, You have to acknowledge that. Okay, that's right. Too loud, much softer. Yes, this is enigmatic, so you have. To let people say, did you hear that? Something changed. You have to let people, you have to, kind of get into the mind of the composer. What does he want by doing that? Usually something unusual. Something surprising, something exceptional. Michelangelo was the one, I love his quote. He says, what makes music beautiful is the surprises, and music is all surprises. So it sounds pretty funny, It's a surprise that's interesting, and yet music is always surprises. So everything is a surprise. If you make it so that it is matter of fact, run-of-the-mill, that's boring. That's not music. It's not beautiful. Yeah. That's right. Yes, don't rush. The charm here is that it's always the same. Bottom, 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 bottom. It's clockwork. But each one, it's a slightly different color. So you have long note, all the G's. Dom, bom, dom, dom, bom, bom. And then A, and then the F, or the F. So you have those, imagine that those long notes are the main notes. They are the main thing. All these little quarter notes around it are there to ornament this main note. How? Each time it comes in, it gives a different color, different combination, different ingredients set up. So you do have to bring out those dom, bom, 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 all that, the same notes. But listen to how the other notes are affecting it. This happens a lot. Chopin loves that. The same note, but different meaning. In Chinese, we say the 同音异名. The same sound, but it's not the same word. That's the idea. Let's try. So the third one, I missed that G. Where's the third one? This one. Yes, you notice I'm clapping twice. 4-1, 4-1. Why? downbeat is naturally loud, naturally important. It's the fourth beat, the upbeat that he needs to mark. But we need to have the automatic downbeat feeling. Da-da, da-da. So it's not dee-da, dee-da, ba-da, ba-da, dee-da. So there are two, da-da, ba-ba, two accents. Dee-da, ba-da. Let's try again. Glorious, go on, down, down. Very good. That's how Haydn would sound. But I told you that this is actually the same motivic element. So, so it needs a little bit of that little jerking sound. Then it serves right for Beethoven, okay? Then Beethoven is Beethoven, not Haydn. Yes, I can't even do that right away. It takes a little practice. Slow practice, you play da-da, ba-da, that two notes, you play them a little closer. It's a little bit uneven, da-da, ba-da. This you learn from listening to Schnabel, Arthur Schnabel. You know, very often he does that in his Beethoven playing. The reason he did it is some people think, oh, his fingers are not even. That's not true. It's because he wants to express something that is actually most likely the real reason Beethoven wrote it. And so he understands that, and he does it. And for us and say, hey, those eighth notes are uneven. That's not the case. The notes are less important. The effect that the notes create is everything. So you are creating the effect of this little surprising, jolt. Okay? Let's go on. Now, this is something really fascinating. Later in his works, there's always, and it's clearly one can find, the moment that Beethoven forgives everything, the moment that Beethoven becomes more relaxed, more friendly, the moment he does it. And here it's no longer half step. Now it's a full step. Oops, half step. Just when you think he's all smiles, it's pretty funny. So take that as a humor. That's Beethoven's humor. Okay, let's try. Maybe a couple measures before. Yes, that's the dark clouds. Don't think you're free from that, Let's try again. dum, ba, da, 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 da. It's an eighth note. You play the quarter note. You play da, 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 ba, da. It's very intense. Ba, da, not ba, da. It's too nice. Let's try. Good either. So what happened? Before you're playing da 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 da, that's too gentle. Now you're playing ba da da da, that's too easy. So we have to. It's actually an eighth note. Dum ba dum. So the eighth note is intense. Da da, and not ba da. Oh. You know the difference being blum blum blum. That's 16th notes. But da 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 da. That's an old man. Ba da 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 da. The energy. Actually, fortissimo. I know this. A lot of people can make it. Where can we get fortissimo sound?
Left hand.
Right hand. The rumbling. Try a little louder. No. Just. That. This is where I'm talking about here. This. Yes. Your writing is too forgiving. You know, you play ya da 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 unforgiving. You know, unrelenting, and the left hand has to fight it. Okay, the left hand cannot relax. It got to fight the right hand. Then you get fortissimo. That's right. So he knew what the challenges are. He knew that you can't keep fortissimo forever because then you're going to have to play triple forte and you are going to break the strings. So he came back a little bit. You see the marking. And the last time the left hand does that, he goes back a little bit to forte. And then dum, bum, 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 all this jumping around, he goes back to fortissimo. So that's where you realize he was rather practical also. You know, we have to understand he was a brilliant pianist. He was what we call the first modern pianist. There are many things about it. What makes it modern? He knew to play legato. Mozart didn't play legato. That's what Beethoven said. Someone asked him, he only heard Mozart once in life. And they say, how did you like Mozart's playing? He said, he doesn't play legato. And that was it. What a criticism. Because he was big on legato. And legato creates immense, sentimentality and all these feelings. And so people will come to his show. He will improvise a theme for a whole hour long. That was his ability. We play a variation that lasts for 15 minutes. The Corelli variation, 17 minutes. One of my kids is playing the Chopin variation. That's 27 minutes. And his own Diabelli variation, 55 minutes. He improvises for 1 hour. Just sitting down, doing that. And people report, in the middle, people cry and they laugh, they smile. All the emotions are in there that he can make his audience to experience. No one else could do it. I don't think I have heard anything quite like that, and even today's standard. My student Abu is a fantastic jazz pianist, and he can improvise for 15 minutes and onward. It's amazing. And he can sort of make you feel very, you can follow his moods and creation. But imagine Beethoven 4 times longer. That was his ability. And so he didn't write, he didn't have too much success in opera writing. Had one, and that's it. But I think he had enough, all these operatic things. We contribute that to that title to Mozart. He was a dramatist. We play his music with a friend of mine as a drama. What about Beethoven? Perhaps a little more fiery. Mozart was a Capricorn. Well, but Beethoven was Sagittarius, even milder. So we don't know. Anyways, that doesn't work. So you see, we have to upgrade Beethoven's music. I hear it's very often presented in a very benign way because people are too afraid to be wrong. Well, rightly so. If you play in Carnegie Hall, this businessman, after their terrible trading day, they come to the concert. You don't want to give them another bad day. You want to make them all smile, happy, and relax, and go to sleep. So play boringly so they can all go to sleep. Don't excite them. But that's not what people back then had in mind. They were wealthy patrons, and they live as sort of a non-life, and they come to a concert, a gathering. They want to experience. They want to be moved. They want to be excited, surprised. And that's what Beethoven supplied them. And thus, in a very short few years, Beethoven became the favorite of everybody. He won over everybody's interest. That's how he did it. But you realize he needed to have a lot of creative power. It's not just done by juggling, but he did it through very intelligent choices, what he did, how he wrote. Anyways, very good. You should play a very wonderful, this sonata really wonderfully well because your fingers work very well. It's technically very challenging.